Hey guys, my name's Madison and welcome back to Plant Therapy. Today I just wanted to do some repotting with you, so let's head over to the table and get started. So here we are at our little makeshift potting station in the living room, and let's go ahead and get started. I think we're just going to repot 2 plants today. We're going to do this small cutting. I want to say this is some sort of a Ctenanthe. I'll definitely put that name on the screen for you. And he's just got some lovely water roots. This is a cutting that I took from a plant that I bought, I don't know, a couple weeks ago or so, maybe a month ago, from like a Lowe's or a Home Depot. It was in like a large 8 or 10 inch pot. And as soon as I got him home, he just started dying off and yellowing no matter like where I put him. So I just went ahead and took the one salvageable cutting that I could and stuck it in some water in the window, and he has just grown some beautiful, beautiful roots. I'll make sure to get some good footage of those roots so you can really see what they're working with right now. But I do really think that it's going to fare well in this pot. It's just gonna go in a small, like 1.5, 2 inch pot. And I think he'll work nicely in there. He'll have some nice room to grow, but not too much. I don't want him swimming in there. And then the next plant we're gonna get going on repotting is this Schefflera arboicola, I believe. I will definitely put that name on the screen for you. This is just a little dwarf umbrella tree. I love this little guy. He's usually a pretty fast grower, but he has slowed down considerably over the last couple of months. And I have a feeling it's because it's either mostly root in here or it's just not very happy in here. So either way, we're gonna do some investigating and see if he needs just a larger pot. If so, I do have, grab him here. I do have a larger pot to put him in if the root bound situation is the case. And if not, then we'll maybe just keep him in this pot and just get him some fresh soil or something. We'll figure it out when we come to. Let's go ahead and get started. I do want to show you my potting mix here. This is a mix of a whole lot of things. I have been keeping my potting mix, or trying to keep it all together in a Tupperware lately. So in this potting mix, I do just have as my base a plain tuber mix I'll put in so you can see exactly what that is. But that's essentially just a really basic soil mixture that doesn't really have any nutrients added. So we did go ahead and add some stuff to this mix to make it how it is now. I did go ahead and add some perlite to this potting mix to help with drainage. And I also went ahead and finished this bag off. It was about halfway full or so of this orchid potting mix from Miracle-Gro. I think these are both Miracle-Gro. Just to add some nice coarseness to it. It has some orchid bark to really add some nice chunky aeration to the soil. And the last thing we added to the soil here was just a little bit of fertilizer. This is from a brand called Down to Earth Vegan Mix 322. It's just an all-natural fertilizer. I've been using this on my plants for a while. I haven't noticed anything like crazy to write home about, but also nothing detrimental. So I think this is so far so good kind of a situation, and I'm just gonna keep using it up till it's gone. I'll show you some close-up footage of that soil. Really nice blend together. As far as that fertilizer goes in the mix, you're definitely not going to notice it in there visibly. And I didn't go too heavy on that as well. I definitely went on the lighter side. I think it recommended 2 to 4 tablespoons of that fertilizer per gallon that you're potting in. So I definitely went on the lighter side of that because I like to fertilize with my waterings, almost every watering. So I think we're ready to start potting some stuff up here. Let's start with this little guy since he will be easiest. We know exactly what we're doing. He's just going right in here. So I'm just gonna scoop up some soil in there. Not too terribly much, I hope you can see that, but he's only to about here or so, just so that he's got a nice little base. And then I like to kind of tap it down. And we are just going to stick him right in there, kind of shove him in because he does have that bit of a tail at the bottom for some sturdiness. And then let's put him back in here so we don't make too much of a mess. I'm just tossing some soil on top in there, kind of shaking it around so that it's evenly distributed. So I don't want to pack it too tightly in there because I do want the roots to still be able to breathe, and we don't want it to retain too much moisture. So there he is. I think he looks really, really nice, and hopefully he'll be happy in here. I'll definitely keep you guys updated on the growth of this guy. So let's see, if I put him like here, hopefully you can kind of see him. Kind of in frame there, I'm not really sure what you can see. Okay, now let's move on to this guy. He looks pretty happy. Honestly, he could definitely use a good cleaning of the leaves so that he can photosynthesize a little bit better. I do think it's really important that you dust your leaves fairly regularly and clean them off, not only to better help them photosynthesize, but also to help keep pests away. All right, so I don't want to do this. Let's just make a mess. Let's just dump her out here. You know, oh. Ooh. This is not as root bound as I thought he was gonna be. As you can tell, I did water this guy recently, which maybe wasn't the best idea right before repotting him. Let's see, I'm just trying to kind of clean off the outside soil so I can really see where that root ball is. Oh no. Hopefully I didn't overwater this guy. I don't think I did. I really don't think I did. I'm a little bit nervous just because he does feel so compacted and wet and soggy. But again, I did just water him really, really thoroughly because he was pretty darn dry. So, and he seems to be a really tolerant plant of both drought and a little bit of overwatering. I don't even feel like I can really break this apart here. So we're just gonna kind of leave this as undisturbed as we can. And I don't even know. This is what he was in. I don't even think I want to put him back in here. I think I want to put him in a little bit of a smaller pot. I wasn't prepared for that. Okay. Bear with me here for a hot second, and I'm gonna go ahead and grab us a smaller pot to put him in. Oh. All right, guys, I got a slightly smaller pot here. Well, I guess in reality, he's not that much smaller, but we're still just gonna put him in this one here. And I know he's not very cute, but we'll still be able to just set that in there and he'll just poke out, and I think it'll look nice. So we will stick with this plan. I think I'm just gonna chuck this old soil. I do think this is very old soil. I don't think it's really got much going on in it. So I'm just gonna tuck it off to the side and we'll see if we can use it elsewhere for something. Okay, we have our area a little bit cleaned up here, so we have some sanity. And let's go ahead and pot this guy up. So let's just scoop some in here. Wow. There's a lot of holes in the bottom of this pot. Okay, let's scooch him out of the way so you can really see what we've got going on. So I've got about, I don't know, maybe half an inch or so of soil in there. I like to just kind of set that in so I can make sure that the soil at the bottom isn't set too high to start with. I just don't like it when it's sitting up too high and you have kind of that mound of soil in the center and then it gets lower on the side. I like it to be a little bit more pleasing to the eye. And then let's just pour some soil in all around the sides and then we'll kind of tap it in. Again, just kind of tapping on the sides just to get the soil evenly distributed. Distributed? Distributed. Distributed. Whatever. Okay. Okay. So he is nicely in there. I think he's gonna like it a lot better in that fresh soil. And then again, just so it looks a little bit nicer where he's gonna be sitting, we're just gonna pop him in like so. Huh? Okay, so here are the two plants that we have repotted. I think they came out really nice, and hopefully we'll get some good growth from both of them soon this coming spring and summer. So for this little guy, I think he's probably gonna end up living in my bedroom for now, just so I can really keep an eye on him and make sure that the soil isn't getting too dry. And speaking of dry, he is obviously dry right now, so we'll definitely get this some water before we go. And as far as the Schefflera goes, with watering right away, I'm not gonna worry about that for the first probably 4 or 5 days. For the Schefflera, I'm not gonna worry about watering for about a week because that root ball was so wet. And here I just wanna show you some shots of my entryway where that dwarf Schefflera is going to live next to its larger cousin. My entry, along with many other spaces in my home, has become a much cherished spot. I love being able to walk in and be immediately surrounded by beautiful plants. It's such a great feeling and something I try to soak in every single day. All right, guys, I think that's going to do it for this one. Thank you so much for joining me for my very first repot, hopefully first of many to come, and I'll see you on the next one.